Hey guys, welcome to The Sophisticated Scoundrel. Today we're going to talk about men who are snakes. These are the guys who just feel the need to be criticizing other men who are working on self-improvement. Before we get into that though, I'd love for you to download my free guide, The 5 Steps to Finding Your Life Mission and Purpose. This is a guide I put together for all the men who reach out asking me, hey, I feel lost and directionless in life and I want to figure out what to do with myself. What should I do? So I put together this guide. It's a really easy to follow thing, and I included a video of how to do it that walks you through step by step, so be sure to grab that today. Okay, so let's get on to this topic of, guys out there who feel the need to shit on other men who are trying to learn about women, learn about men, learn about themselves, who want to improve themselves, want to have a better life. A guy wrote on a comment on Miami Vice Life that just pissed me off. So I'm going to read that to you. And he just basically said that, I love how this page turned into an instruction guide for incels who can't get women. LMAO. Well, this page from the very beginning was created as a place where men can learn about life knowledge, life skills. And I'm using Miami Vice as a gateway into that because the show itself has a lot of great lessons to be learned about relationships, about being a man, about being, having perseverance, confidence, strength, determination, charm. And so I just thought, hey, what a great opportunity to use this to teach something and learn something and hopefully share the things that I've learned in my life with other men out there. And then you have guys like this that come along and just feel the need to somehow make other men feel bad because that's what they're hoping to do with themselves. And I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. And this is something I have very little patience for. Because here's the thing. If you are a guy out there who maybe you didn't have a strong father figure in your life, you didn't have that masculine leadership. When you get older, you're most likely not going to know what to do when it comes to women. Because most of the times, if you're coming from a single mother household, you've been taught how to be a man from a woman, and a woman simply does not have those skills that a man does, and she doesn't have the same masculine energy that a man does that can give to his son and even to his daughter. And so whatever your circumstance is as a man, whatever your upbringing is, if you get to the point where you realize, hey, things just aren't working, then, I think it's an incredible thing when a man can actually take a look at himself and say, hey, I'm having trouble, I'm struggling, let me figure this out. So luckily, because of YouTube and the internet, you can now reach out, you can look, you can research and find a lot of really good information out there of how to improve your life. So many of the guys that reach out to me, they literally did not have the upbringing. They didn't know these things. They had no idea, and they kept experiencing failure after failure in their relationships. It could be getting ghosted all the time. They see all their friends doing really well, but for some reason they can't figure it out. Maybe some of them just are so nervous. They put a woman on a pedestal all the time, so they come off as weak and needy. These are just real life issues that men deal with. And, this particular gentleman felt the need to just come in and put it on a blast. And, any kind of guy who does this, it's a very, very clear, it's a lens into this person's life, this guy's life. For whatever reason, he's probably got some bullshit going on in his life, and he feels the need to shit on other guys to make himself feel better. And I understand that. But to lash out and put something else like this and put other men down, men right now need other men to support them. And that's one of the things that I want to stress with this video is that we all have certain strengths and we all have certain weaknesses. When I was coming up, I didn't know a lot of things that I know now, especially when it came to women. There were certain things that I was doing really, really well, but I didn't necessarily know that was what I was doing. I just happened to be good at certain things, but there were also a lot of things that I was really bad at that I didn't understand. And some of those things that I didn't understand really brought a lot of pain and hardship in my own life. And so thankfully there was ways that I could learn about it. There was books or videos and things that even I could learn from. And that's something that just this in this day and age, men are told to be vulnerable, express their feelings, blah blah blah, that sort of same feminist bullshit, which I don't agree with. But when men do, you have people like this giving men shit about it. So, society talks on two sides of their mouth. So you really do, if you're a man, you have to push past that bullshit. But I do like to call it out every now and then, like this guy. It's just like, I'm not going to stand for this. And other men need to also stand up for it too. But getting back to the point of, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. I had certain strengths in certain things, but I also had certain weaknesses, And I think a lot of the guys out there who come to this page too, you guys all have certain strengths and you also have certain weaknesses. And I think you're trying to fill in some of those gaps, obviously, by coming to a page or coming to a channel like this. But what I want to impress upon you is that regardless of where you think you are, if you think you got a long way to go, and maybe you do, I don't, everyone's case by case, but regardless of whether or where you think you are in life, someone out there does look up to you. Someone out there does see you and think, man, that guy's got it made. He's got a lot of stuff going for them. And you might not feel that way, but there is someone out there who thinks that. And so you need to take this into consideration with how you live your life. Because you, regardless of how you feel about certain things, you do have an opportunity to inspire someone else out there. It could be another man, or it could be a woman who didn't get to experience masculinity in her life. Maybe she had a very weak father. Maybe she didn't have a father, whatever. I'm not saying that this is an opportunity for you to go change them and be a white knight and Captain Save-A-Ho. It's not that, but I'm just saying the way you live your life and how you give back to people around you is a very important thing to consider as you yourself are on your own journey of learning about how to become a better man and try to fill in some of these shortcomings that you have personally. And that's essentially the whole purpose of why I started this channel and why I started my Instagram, because I learned some things that really helped me. They made me feel so much better, gave me a lot of confidence, just gave me knowledge so I could change my life and turn it towards the direction that I wanted it to go. And whether or not you're just kind of starting your journey and figuring some of this stuff out, or you're a little bit further down the line, keep in mind that there's someone out there who sees you and who does look up to you. And even if you don't know who that person is, or maybe it's just someone you interact with at a store that you don't have a personal connection with, it doesn't matter. Keep that in mind, because I think this influences how you live your life. And it helps give you the motivation to better yourself. It gives you if there are times where you're going through shit and you feel like crap, it gives you the motivation just to keep going, because someone out there could potentially benefit from what your experiences and the things that you have to teach. And hey, maybe you suck with women, but you're really good with business or finance. Again, these are skills that every man has its strengths and every man has his weaknesses. So however you can influence somebody else, embrace that and go forth with it. Because this particular guy who felt the need to say this negative comment, I have no idea. He makes himself to look really cool. He's got sunglasses and a suit on, looking Mr. Cool Guy. But then why in the hell would he come and say something like this? These are the kind of things that you have to think about. And running a page like this, I see a lot of hater comments. Most of mine I just ignore, because it's like, it tells me that person is at a different place in their life and they're not ready for change. They're not ready to learn something. They're very closed-minded. They need to criticize it because they're uncomfortable with it. They maybe see something in themselves. And if you have something about yourself that you hate, you're going to call it out in someone else who has those traits, because you're trying to disassociate yourself from them. That's sort of how this works. So my response to this guy, I will just read my response, because I think that this is something, this is how I feel about it. So I said, you are exactly the problem with society today. Completely self-absorbed. You have to call men who are interested in self-improvement incels and act like you're holier than thou. You have absolutely no empathy towards your fellow brothers who perhaps are struggling in life and want to know how to change. I received countless messages from both men and women on how this page has helped them improve themselves, find loving girlfriends and wives, and just give them a sense of peace and inner confidence in general. And what do you offer? Douchey comments from Mr. Too Cool with your suit and sunglasses. Grow up and try to see the world from a different perspective other than your own. And yeah, I get, this is one of the benefits of doing something like this is you really do get to see in real time how it helps people. And I swear, every day I'm getting messages from men around the world saying, hey, your page has really inspired me. It's given me a lot of confidence. I'm doing a lot better with women or just with myself, focusing on my life mission and purpose. It's given me peace knowing that there are other men out there who feel the same way. And a lot of the guys have gone through a really bad breakup or a really tough divorce. Being able to find a group of men out there around the world, just even through Instagram posts, it can be a very powerful thing. So that's sort of why comments like this really rubbed me the wrong way. And I feel the need to call that stuff out because we shouldn't be doing that. I mean, men, no one gives a shit about men in society. It's like women, children, and dogs are the only thing. Like Chris Rock says, those are the only things that receive unconditional love. A man is loved for what he can bring to the table, right? So, us as men, we can understand that and relate to each other, and we need to have a community of men for men, and that's exactly what this, my Instagram page was created for. So, a lot of you guys are out there, still working on yourself, still struggling, but again, keep in mind that someone does see you and admires you and looks up to you. Use that as motivation. Use that as a little bit of self-confidence today as you're out and about interacting with the world. Realize that you bring something special to the table. Keep fighting. Don't give up. And just, when you feel like, God, I'm not making any progress, understand that sometimes other people don't see it. You might not feel it inside, but wait till the next day because your feelings and your emotions change very quickly. Hold on to the next day. Go out and exercise. Kind of get yourself out of your own headspace if you start to get negative, because things change. In 24 hours, you'll feel completely different the next day. So, anyway, this is my little rant, my little piece on guys who are just shitting on other guys. It's just not necessary. It's ridiculous. If you're encouraging a guy and challenging him, that's one thing. But saying stuff like this, I think it's bullshit. So I'm going to call that nonsense out. All right, guys, if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Where are some moments in your life that you've experienced people shitting on you for wanting to improve? Share that in the comments. Let me know what's going on. If you like personal one-on-one coaching, I've been working with a lot of different guys, helping them get to a place where they want to be in life. Click the links below. I have several different options for you to explore. So click on the links and book your session with me today. All right, guys, we will see you in the next video.